Hey everyone, this is Thomas Edwards, and this is my presentation on why a four-year degree is not essential for everyone. So to get started, I want to talk about what the purpose of this presentation is. I just want to give insight as to why a four-year degree may not be essential for everyone. So if you're a high school senior who's trying to figure out what you want to do after you graduate, you may be considering college as an option, but if you're not 100% sure that's what you want to do, this slideshow can give you some insight, some ideas as to why you may not want to go to college. So the main things we're going to look at are the earnings of someone with versus without a four-year degree, underemployment of degree holders, financial burden associated with a four-year degree, and finally we're going to talk about some alternatives for a four-year degree. So first we're going to look at earnings. Someone with a four-year degree generally will earn more, but there are some instances where a person without a degree can earn more over their lifetime. So look at this table. You can see the green lines show the amount of money somebody earns over their lifetime in millions of dollars. So engineers make between 1 million and 2 million over their lifetimes. The average for all majors is a little over $1 million. So that's a lot of money. But if you keep on looking down the list, that purple line where it says associate's degree, that's a 2-year degree. And they make more money than quite a few majors. So if you look at degrees such as social work or theater, then you're probably better off getting an associate's degree versus getting a 4-year degree in that field. Next, a 4-year degree is not the only option for making money. So if you look at this table on the left here, it shows what percent of full-time workers earn more than half of 4-year degree holders. So basically, if you look at the percentages, I believe it is 16% of people who have a high school diploma make more than somebody with a bachelor's degree. So bachelor's degree is the same thing as 4-year degree. So 16% of people who only graduate with a high school diploma make more than somebody with a bachelor's degree. And same thing, once you get into some college or associate's degree, that number goes from 16% to 28%, which is a massive increase. It counts for a large amount of people who have worked. Next, we'll talk about underemployment. So underemployment is not a term that you hear too often, so I like to start by defining that. So what is underemployment? Basically, underemployment is somebody who is trained and skilled and employed, but those skills are not being used in their current line of work. So for example, with me, I'm an engineer. I hope to become an engineer by the time I graduate, but I also know how to weld. So this means that if I were to become an engineer, I also have welding certifications. So I am employed, I can be employed as an engineer, but my skills as a welder are not being used. Or somebody who has like an economics degree, maybe working in sales, but those aren't necessarily related. But if we look at these tables, 48% of 4-year degree holders are working in a field that requires less education. So the table on the right shows what percent of workers in different fields are working in jobs that do not require a 4-year degree, but the people working them do have 4-year degrees. So look, 47% of sales representatives have a bachelor's degree even though there's no need for it at all. To me, this makes no sense. Because why would you need a degree? Why would you get a degree for a job that is not needed whenever you could just be trained? It costs a lot more for you individually and still make good money. If you look at the table on the left, this one I find slightly entertaining because it shows the difference between 1970 and 2010 of different fields where people have bachelor's degree. So look at the column on the far left. It shows that a little over 1% of taxi drivers in 1970 had a bachelor's degree, but in 2010, over 15% of taxi drivers had a bachelor's degree. It's an even bigger jump with people in sales, with less than 5% of salesmen and clerks having a bachelor's degree in 1970 to almost 25% having a bachelor's degree in 2010. Next, we're looking at financial burden. So the average four-year degree holder leaves college with $26,500 in debt, which is an insane amount of money. Now, the national debt total for all college graduates is over $1 trillion. Keep in mind, our nation is roughly $40 trillion in debt, so 1/40 of debt, of our national debt, is student loan debt. Now look at this diagram. It shows what percent of your first 10 years working will go towards paying off your education. So if you're somebody who's in like the bottom 25% of earnings, roughly 30% of your income will go towards paying off your education in the first year. And this is crazy to think that all this money that you're working hard for is going into a degree. Now, it's important to think about some alternatives. So if you're seeing this and you don't know what you want to do, or you're maybe against the idea of college now, what are some alternatives for a four-year degree? So the first thing you do, get a two-year degree instead. So go to a local community college, which is a lot cheaper, and you still get a degree, which is the most important part of any degree, is that you just go to classes, do your work, and you actually wind up with a degree. So community college, you can still get a two-year degree, it's still viable, and it's a lot cheaper, it saves you time and money. Another option, learn a trade. As I mentioned earlier, I learned how to weld. So if I don't stick to my career choice of engineering, I could easily go get my welding certification and do that and be content with what I do. There's also fields like carpentry or HVAC, which are always a necessity for people because houses are always being built, AC units are always going to blow out, so there's always work in these fields. Finally, you can always go directly to the workforce. This can mean you just go work at McDonald's, or you pick up a broom and start sweeping somewhere. So to conclude this presentation, a four-year degree is not the only path to success. If you're not sure what you want to do for your career, there are other options other than a four-year degree that are still valid based on earnings, underemployment, and financial burdens. Now, four-year degrees are a great option, but they're not essential. And here's the thing, even though I say all this, if you want to go to college, there is nothing wrong with that. You can always go to college. If that's what you want to do, then do it. But this is just to give you some insight that, hey, it may not be the only option for you. Just do what you want and find something that you can enjoy doing for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this will give you more insight as to what you want to do.